Welcome back to the C Morning Show, everyone. Time for our next discussion of the morning, and the topic is nothing new, as climate change is a global challenge that continues to threaten the sustainability of our planet. And it is an ongoing imminent crisis that requires our immediate attention. Luckily, though, communities from around the world are always engaged in numerous projects and collaborations in order to combat this threat.
That's right, Paul. Now, aside from raising awareness on the urgency of the climate crisis, these climate projects also empower us to be part of the solution. And to know more about that this morning, let's welcome to the studio Climate Reality Leader from Climate Reality Global Project, Wijanarko Adipratomo. Good morning, Mas Ari. Thank you so much
for having me here.
For joining us. Now, the Climate Reality program started in the United States by former U.S. Vice President Al Gore. So can you tell us a little bit more about the community and the organization itself and what you guys do?
Sure, thank you. So the Climate Reality Global, it actually the organization that focus on mainstreaming the issue of climate change into global people. So we are thinking that instead of cursing the darkness, we are trying to lit the candles.
Right.
We're starting by providing trainings to the communities and then try to lit each and every candles all across the globe. Currently, globally, we have 46,000 climate leaders. Those have been trained by Al Gore directly, and then we are existing in 152 countries. And our climate leaders are ranging in age from 16 up to 87s, and came from different backgrounds, from public officials to the students. So we are trying to collaboratively find solutions for a global problem, which requires global solutions, and also come up with the local solutions to provide solution to the global problem, basically.
Okay, so I want to ask a little bit about that, because we do know that climate change is, as you mentioned, a global problem. But in 152 different countries has representation now. So each one of those countries faces different problems. For example, like Indonesia faces flooding because of climate change, I would say, one of the bigger problems. So how do you stay connected to the global kind of initiative, but also kind of come up with localized solutions for each different country?
Yes, so basically from the global, they are providing the overarching program. And then each of the branches, including Indonesia, Japan, and many others, come up with the local solutions. So it's both like tailored program, which is suitable for each country. So we cannot say that, oh, we're going to do this and this and this, if it is only occurring in the United States. Something that is not occurring here. So we are trying to come up with the local identification of the local problems and how we can come up with the local solutions. For instance, last week we had youth leadership camp on climate crisis in Yogyakarta, addressing the issues of the food security. So we are introducing to the students the local food sources, something that probably they never seen before, never heard, like tempe koro and many others. They were like, oh wow, actually there are so many different options that are available around us. So something like that, Paul.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's really interesting, because Paul, I'm glad you highlighted on that, because the climate crisis is indeed very different in all parts of the world. But what kind of training do you guys do back in, I'm guessing, the headquarters of Climate Reality? So
it basically an offline meetings and offline trainings.
In New York?
No, basically around the world.
So it is done everywhere. So it's not done
including
in one...
Indonesia in 2009. So we are looking forward to have another training in Southeast Asia region, maybe next year. So hopefully many people from Indonesia can join that training. But aside from that, we are also opening our opportunity for the students, youths, and also the public in general to join us as a volunteer. We conduct so many different activities, and hopefully we can be able to mainstream the issue of climate change all across Indonesia, and also to mainstream it not only at the grassroots level, but also working at the policymaker level.
Okay, so this in one of those forms, as one of the forms this has taken is the youth camp, youth leadership camps. Tell us a little bit about that. What sort of program is it? How does one join up? And how enthusiastic are the youth about this? Because we all constantly hear youth in Indonesia especially are very concerned about climate change.
Okay, so in Indonesia we have more than 1,000 climate leaders, and 50% of them are youths.
Wow.
So we are working in youth because we believe that investing in youth is a good investment. So during the Youth Leadership Camp or Climate Crisis or YLCCC, we taught them about the basic climate crisis. Okay. But aside from that, we are also injecting different themes. So every year, we have several different YLCCC, we call it, and each of them has their own theme. Last year, we had 3 YLCCC theme on the energy, actually renewable energy. Second one is on the bamboo issue, and then on the coffee. So we also inject the local problems that are happening in that area. And we bringing the local students and also students from other regions to basically interact with each other and also understand more about the issue and how they can come up with the solutions as a youth.
I see. Now, with these students that take up the training with you guys, would they join Climate Reality after?
Yes, they mostly join our activities afterwards.
Activities, okay.
Yes.
And that comes off as programs around the world?
Yes. And then, for instance, there's another program called the Youth Mobility. So basically talk about the issue of the air pollutions all across Southeast Asia.
Oh, yeah.
And many other issues also. We are trying to engage with other branches as well.
Okay.
To basically strengthen our program. And this year we are hoping to have program with the Australia and also Philippines branch.
Okay, so how does that work when you work with neighboring countries as well? What sort of initiatives would you be taking up then?
Yeah, so basically these are the hybrid activities.
Okay.
So youth from Australia, from Philippines, they join our Zoom and discuss about the problem in their area and how can they come up with a solution.
So it's kind of like a sharing session.
Yes.
Between, right? Because
sharing
some of these problems could be overlapping as well.
Yes, peer-to-peer learning basically.
It's really nice. It's like, oh, this is going on in my country. What's going on in your country?
Yeah, and probably a lot of the same issues being
faced.
Exactly,
especially if they're geographically close to one another. Sari, aside from exposing, the youth to all these leadership programs, you also teach them about decision making.
Yes.
Was this something that was inspired by COP28?
Yes. So basically, we also have one of our flagship program is called the Mock COP. So it's basically known as a Model UN.
Right.
So it's based on our experience because in Climate Reality Indonesia, we have so many of our climate leaders who were part of the Indonesian delegations, including me. So we've seen that actually there were some disconnections between the youth, the problems on the grassroots, and the decision-making process. So we're trying to bridge it using the Model UN activities. So during this Model UN activities, students are representing different countries, different NGOs, and they were assigned to find a solution towards a particular theme.
Okay.
For instance, last year we were talking about the climate financing.
Right.
So how can we provide more financing towards climate change, towards the adaptation and mitigation of the climate change? And then this year we are hoping to also addressing the issue of climate financing, but in the local context.
Okay.
So hopefully they understand that there's a missing link between what are we doing on the grassroots level and the level at the top. And hopefully the youth can advocate a stronger decision-making process, which involve more and more people, more inclusive, and make it, locally solutions-based. Otherwise, if you are prescribing one single solution for the climate change problem, it will be impossible. Because we have to derive from the locally based solutions.
You have to cater to
and I would say that all of this time we used to, from years and years ago, we recognized that climate change is a problem.
Indeed.
We know that there are solutions to these problems, but we never knew how to combine the two. And I think having the youth being the connector is very important as well because they're the ones who have the future in their hands. Now, you mentioned a few of the problems that we are facing currently locally in Indonesia. We are aware of many of them. We talk about renewable energy all the time. I'm aware of the coffee. I never even realized that bamboo was an issue.
Did you know cultivating rice
really
contributes a lot of methane
to the greenhouse gases?
So what are some of the issues that are currently being faced by us here in Indonesia when it comes that comes up a lot during these sessions?
So one of the issues is including the coffee. So coffee, as we know, is being planted on a certain, topography. Requires certain or specific temperature to live. But due to the climate change, increasing temperature, many of the coffees cannot produce effectively. Or their taste change. then it's becoming a problem.
Yeah.
So one of the solutions is how we can basically work with the coffee farmers on this problem, how they come up with the solutions by reforesting the areas and to also keep the source of the water. Okay. It's also creates a solution for them.
Right.
Or like a bamboo. We might never know that actually bamboo is one of the best natural filter for the greenhouse gases and also the particles.
And it's quite strong as well.
Indeed.
Yes.
Like if you are staying in under the bamboo trees, you'll feel a different environment. Like very refreshing and the air is so cool.
Yeah.
But yes, it may not be realized by many people and also actually keep the water at the ground. So it's become the deposit of water. So there are so many different benefits of planting bamboo, but not so many people understand about it. So we're trying to advocate these local solutions towards not only the people, but also the policymakers.
Right.
So most of the time, it's the stuff that you don't even know and you don't really learn.
Right.
In school that you pick up and you're like, wow.
So you talk about having a yearly theme.
Yes.
So what about this year?
This year is still focusing on the climate finance.
Okay.
And also against greenwashing.
Okay.
So
very important topic, by the way.
Very important.
It's starting to come to light now. A lot of companies, a lot of people out there, influencers are using this particular topic to their advantage.
Because it's hot, literally.
Yeah, it's trending right now. It's trending. But perhaps that could be made to your advantage.
And also actually taking care of our ocean.
Okay.
Yes.
Because ocean actually absorb more greenhouse gases compared to the land-based activities. So Indonesia is very beautiful and then has a very fast arrays of the potentials on the oceans. But actually we never really, utilize it or tap into it.
Yes.
And do you also work with international organizations such as the UN, UNEP, or WF?
Yes. So actually I'm so happy to inform you that we are also part of the UN environment.
Okay.
And then basically providing the training as well to the people outside Indonesia.
Yep.
So Ibu Amanda Katili, our director, becoming one of the, lecturer for the UN related courses.
That's awesome.
And we've been doing that for the last 3 years.
Wow.
So how can we find out more about Climate Reality Project?
More about you.
Yes. So we have the website, Climate Reality Indonesia, and then also we have the Instagram, Climate Reality INA.
Okay.
So you can visit there and see our activities over there. And every time we have the activities, we also open the activities to the public. So if you're interested, you can join us.
Okay, and we can find that through either your website or
website
Instagram.
or Instagram.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go, right there.
Reality.id. You can check out all the information there and get yourself more well-versed. Or if you simply like to scroll through social media, make sure you check out their Instagram as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This morning. And best of luck with your continued efforts.
Thank you.
And that's that for our second talk show.
That's
we do have
talk show, that's right.
We do have a special signature segment strictly for the month of Ramadan coming up.
We do. I believe that is with me. So
All right, Salam Ramadan coming up next.
Don't go anywhere just yet.
We'll be right back.